So we're here this afternoon to talk to Alison from SAS. I know lots of you, hi, I know lots of you are new to using SAS or maybe use it but don't quite know all of the awesome functions that it has. So here's the first of our how-to videos. And it's about setting up your panel and how to kind of make sure you're good to go and get the most out of it from the beginning. So I'll hand it over.
Thank you very much, Emily. Yes, and for those that are not familiar with SAS, SAS stands for Sourcing Analysis Simplified. And it is exactly what it says. My husband, Al Carlton, that some of you have seen on some of Emily's chats and videos and things, is the one that developed SAS because he himself has been an Amazon seller, and he himself experienced everything from starting the business 6 years ago, all the way up to 6 years ago, 5 years ago, sorry, I lied, 5 years ago, all the way up to selling hundreds of thousands every year on Amazon. And
wow.
Yeah, it was really, it grew out of him wanting to create a tool that would help him source more profitably. So yeah, I can tell you hordes of stories of places that we've been where he's been sitting in the corner, almost back of the napkin math, although he does it in his head because he's so good with it, trying to figure out if a product was going to be profitable. And I always used to joke around like, I'm the perfect person that would need this product because I couldn't do that math while we were sitting there talking to whatever store we were in. But it really came out of that need. So. And what's been developed is a product that's actually 3 tools in one. So for your subscription, for your trial, we'll talk about those in a little bit. You actually get 3 tools. So no matter what method you might be using to source, you've always got a tool at your fingertips. So I'm here on the website, which is SellerAmp.com is the name of the company, SellerAmp.com. And there are the 3 tools. There's the mobile tool. So as you're out doing your RA on the go, oh wait, wow, you're out doing your shopping at Tesco or whatever, you see something, you want to double check if that would be a good bargain or not. The app is invaluable. It's available on iOS and Android. And really it holds everything in your hands that you need when you're out and about and not at your computer, shall we say. So that is the mobile version. There is the SAS extension. And Emily brought up a good point earlier. What the heck's an extension? We'll show you in a little bit what it is, but an extension is built. Sorry, say it again.
It's awesome, is what it is.
Emily's a fan of the extension. I can say that.
Yeah.
So with your Google Chrome browser, there are tools that you can activate that will allow you to essentially analyze the data that's there on the page. So there's a SAS extension, which allows you when you're using Google Chrome on any website out there. It can be Amazon, it can be Argus, it can be Boots, it can be, you name a website. You go in to do your OA and you find a product and boom, just like with the mobile version, on the extension, you're able to pull up all that information instantaneously. And then there is also the web app, old school, log in on the website and use the tool that way. But we'll show you the web app as well. Just very handy when you're at your computer to have everything on the big screen that you can look at. Just need to have an ASIN or you can look at your history. I think that's one thing that I should mention is that all 3 of these products, you have the same account. So any information that you find is always going to be accessible from any of the 3 methods. So it's not like all your mobile stuff stays in mobile or your extension stuff.
So I've gone out and done some scanning with my RA with the app, and then I've gone home to double check it against the Chrome extension. So because sometimes you might be better in a multi-pack or in a bundle, or there might be a couple of listings. So if I'm not sure, I'll deliberately scan it quickly, and then I can go, we'll talk about it in a minute, but I can go through my history, scroll down, and there's the exact item. So it's almost a way to like store it if you want.
It's almost like flagging it. Yeah, exactly. You're running through, picking up something real quick. It's like, oh, got to check that when I get home, that kind of thing.
And that's hugely unique. No other software offers the history as far as I know. It's a really, really unique feature to SAS, which is awesome.
Yeah, and it's super helpful as well. We'll talk about this in another time, but you can flag things so you can come back to them easily, and it's very, very handy. But again, that goes across all 3 products. So it's all in your account. So that is what the product is. Let's talk a little bit about how you get there. Emily's going to share a link with everybody as to how you can sign up. What we offer with SAS is there are 2 packages. And if I scroll down the website, by the way, on the website, there's also an overview video of some lady rambling on about SAS. If you want to hear that, no, but it does give it a better view of everything, a little more explanation of each of these. So there are actually 2 packages for SAS, really, again, designed for the different types of users out there, because there are some SAS users that are just in their infancy, just getting the hang of it all, might not be doing as much scanning, but then there's your pros, right? So there's 2 different packages, and to be honest, from a market view, or having all the tools that you have, these prices, I think, Emily, you'd probably say are fairly reasonable.
They are very, 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 very good prices. They are hugely good value for money.
Yeah, if you can, I like to think if you can invest in a month, get to know it, you'll know right offhand. Which is exactly why it's great that there's a free trial.
I think it's something like 12. If you get the getting started, it's like 12 pence per scan. That's just like brain-numbingly awesome.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, the getting started package is 1,000 scans per month. So again, for getting started, that will give you enough. You're going to have so much going on being thrown at you, not only from a SAS standpoint, but from a managing your business standpoint.
Yeah.
That 1,000 might be just plenty. But then for a few,
scan 1,000 items, actually, that is a lot of scanning.
That's a lot of scanning. Yeah. Exactly. And then obviously when you're ready to go unlimited, then there's an upgrade to the Getting Serious package as well. But what we do with the free trial is that we can actually, you'll get a chance to use all 3 of the tools, conduct 42 scans, which will give you an idea of what it's like, help you understand what you're looking for, help you see all the points that you're going to want to be paying attention to. And you get 3 months to use it too. So if you can't do it right offhand, no problem. Have a little delay, no problem. But yeah, 42 scans over the course of 3 months to get a feel for the product. And then once that expires, you'll have the option to sign up for either one of the packages. So, and it retains your history as well. So anything that you did in the free trial, you'll still hold on to. I think, Emily, you're going to put a link into the video.
Just one more thing for those people who are a bit more experienced with their Amazon journey and have VAs. I've got a team of 6 VAs, and 5 of them use SAS. So that's obviously you need the bigger package. But it's something that you can definitely incorporate with your VAs if they're doing your searching and your sourcing for you.
Perfect, and thank you for mentioning that, because yeah, it allows more people to be working on your account when you go to get.
And you can feel the history of links. It's as if one person's done it, so it's perfect.
Yeah, everybody has access to everything. Yep, exactly. Thank you for pointing that out. So the sign-up process, either for the trial or for one of the packages, is fairly straightforward. For the trial, all it is a username and a password and your email address. And then if you sign up for a package, it's just adding your credit card information in there. So really straightforward in that respect. What we haven't mentioned is the product is still in beta. So it is still officially a beta product. According to, and really this applies to the mobile version with the App Store, the Apple App Store and the Android App Store. Android, you can tell I'm an Apple person, can't you? Yeah, right. So with either Android or iOS, they have to classify the product as beta. There's certain things they have to do to get to a point where it's out of beta. So don't let that hinder you whatsoever. There's plenty of customers on the product using all three tools in the product. But having said that, when you get your sign-up information, it will direct you to a place that's going to show you how to load your extension. It's got all the information there on how to get the app. So just while we're in beta testing, there's a little additional instruction required, but it's not complicated by any stretch of the imagination. So.
If you do struggle, tag me or tag Al or tag Alison in a comment in the group, and we will be to your rescue and point you in the right direction.
It comes with all the explanations. So just read the instructions and you should be pretty good to go. Okay. So that is the sign up process. Now I'm going to flip over into my account. I'm going to go to the web version strictly because it's a larger screen, to be honest with you. But you would see any of this information in either the web, in the extension, or in the mobile app. So when you log in fact, I will even log out and log back in to show everybody how to do it. Oh, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. There we go. Gonna log ourselves back in. Don't hit the wrong button. So again, this is the desktop version. Excuse me. And every one of them, every tool has an option to go to your user profile. So it's usually the settings cog. It's the settings cog on the other two tools. But what we're going to do here is take that out in case nobody wants to email me or anything, spam me. In here, and this is the first step that you want to do. Before you even scan anything, you want to come into your settings, because part of the premise of SAS is that you get to control what you're looking for. So SAS is going to help you find it by telling you, yes, it meets your criteria, or no, it doesn't, but you need to know what your criteria are. So within the settings, you'll want to set up your VAT status. Are you registered? Are you standard rate? Are you flat rate? I think most people are probably going to be not registered at this point, but at some point, some of you may flip over. There's a lovely video on Emily's page about VAT yesterday, talking to Norm and Al, if you want to learn a little bit more about that. For the purposes of this, I am not registered. But then it's the other settings here. So you can tell SAS, I want a minimum BSR or a maximum BSR for any product that I look up. So it's going to indicate to you either, yes, this meets your BSR requirement, or no, this does not meet your BSR requirement. So I don't know if you have any sage words of advice, Emily, on BSR and things to be looking out for or not.
BSR, it depends on what kind of a seller you are. Personally, within my business, BSR is like just a guide, a really rough guide, because it's a snapshot. Snapshot. Wow, it's a snapshot of where that particular ASIN is at that particular times. So it could sell 20 minutes later and you wouldn't know. So for me personally, I've set my BSR to 0.01, so I catch everything that's really flying and selling, and I've got a maximum of 2.49, so I only take the top 2.5% of products.
And yeah, the higher BSR percentage you allow to qualify within what you're looking for, you know, the more competition you're going to potentially have. Yeah. So you want to set up what you're looking for. You can leave it blank if you want, but it's going to return that everything is going to be okay from a BSR perspective, when in reality it might not be a great seller. So that just it takes one more thing away from you that you have to be paying attention to.
And I think it depends on what category. So if you're in quite a small category, your BSR can go up to maybe 10%. But if you're in health and beauty, I would probably have 1% or 1.25. So it depends on the size of the category and how saturated it is and how niche it is. So you can jiggle it and juggle it however you want to, depending on what you're sourcing.
From a profitability standpoint, there's other requirements that you want to set up here as well, such as, you know, do you have a minimum profit that you want to make on a product? Do you need to make, in this case of the example here, 3 pounds? Do you want to make 3 pounds per unit or not? You know, it's gonna help look for, are you going to meet that requirement? Again, minimum ROI. Are you going to get the money back? Are you going to get your return on investment that you're looking for? Do you have any built-in prep fees that you're aware of? Any of your own expenses that you want to include? Are you using a prep center is usually where that comes into play. If you're doing FBA and you're using a prep center, this is where you would put that fee in, and that will automatically be calculated within the SAS calculator. So you, again, one less thing you have to think about as you're trying to figure out if it's a profitable product.
Even if you're FBA and you're from home, you're still going to use tape, you're still going to use boxes, and you're still going to use your own labour. Exactly. So I strongly recommend no one ever leaves that blank. Even if you put in like 20p, at least do something to cover some of your costs of your boxes and your tape and your bits and bobs and labels. You know, even a very small nominal amount Because if you sell 1,000 items with nothing in there, that soon adds up, and you'll soon go through your sundry.
You're going to wonder why you're not making money, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
I would err on the cautious side and put something in.
Miscellaneous fee and miscellaneous fee as a percentage of cost are basically cushions, buffers that you can build in for yourself. So to help with sort of that unknown factor, other expenses that you may incur, or maybe you just want to have a certain amount in reserve, shall we say, a certain extra amount in reserve that you want to be making on each product. And then your inbound shipping rate from an FBA perspective. What is Amazon charging you for your inbound shipping?
That's pre-populated. So does that mean that you can just leave that at 35 and SAS knows what it's doing, or how's it got to that?
Oh no, that was my setting.
Okay.
Yep, that was I have populated all of these with somewhat average sort of amounts that people kind of shoot for. So no, that was actually mine. You know, some people are going to be a little higher. Some people might be a little lower if they've been selling a lot longer and do a lot more volume. So everybody's will vary.
Calculation for that. So personally, I send all my boxes in 15 kilograms because I think they've lifted they've relifted back to 23. I'm not quite sure 15k does it right for me. So it's just literally the cost I pay per box, which is £3.60 because I'm VAT registered, divided by 15, and there's my number.
There
so
you go.
If you're always sending in boxes with 23 kilograms, you need to split it by 23. So just work it out roughly. That's how I came to my calculation.
Okay. And one other default that I want to point out in here is your FBM cost, your storage time, and your fulfillment. So if you have FBM cost, if there is, like we were saying before, as we were saying, boxes about FBA, well, you obviously got boxes with FBM. So what is your cost for fulfilling them yourselves? For FBA purposes, what is your default storage time that you would like SAS to include in the calculation? Each of these, you can adjust that once you get into a specific product, but always good to have something to start with. And then your fulfillment method, your default fulfillment method, again, can be changed as you're doing calculations, but it's easier, quicker to have your defaults already programmed in. So either FBA, FBM, and European fulfillment, potential limited lifetime of European fulfillment, EFN or pan-EU. So yeah, that is where you set up your settings. And again, can't tell you how important it is to set those up. We've had plenty of queries from people asking the question of, why am I getting a thumbs down on everything every BSR that I come up with? It's because I didn't set up your settings.
Yeah.
Why is it not factoring in my costs that are involved with my own fulfillment or anything? Because there's nothing in here. So once you save those, you're off to the races. And then I will go back to the homepage here. Actually, let me flip over to, let's talk about the extension and hop back to the website here. So that was a version of the SAS web app. And before I go away from it, I will say, let's go ahead and look at the SAS web app here. Just lost my train of thought there. Sorry, everybody. There we go. So this is the entry into the web app. You can type an ASIN in here. You can type keyword in here and search for a product. I know, for example, that we're going to go into more detail on the search history in the future. This is actually searching the history. But you can search for results on this page on the web app as well. But let's face it, it's going to be easier to do when you have an extension on your desktop, yay, or on your Google Chrome. So like I said before, Chrome extension is a window within a window is essentially a way to come up with it. Let me show you. Here's an Amazon page with actually a really good seller here. What loading that extension will do is enable you to have a window automatically pop open, so you won't have to do this. When you go to any search on Amazon, it will automatically pop up this SAS extension. Dun, dun, dun. And within the extension, as within the mobile app, as within the desktop, are the different panels of information. There's lots of information on our website about each of the different panels. We got YouTube videos on them. There's a Facebook page. Emily and I will have chats about some of these in the future as well. But all of these different panels displaying everything that you need to know about the product that you're looking at on that page.
If you scroll up a little bit for me, Alison, you've got a buy for price. So it says maximum cost £3.84. That is the figure that SAS has come up with based on the settings that you just put in. Exactly. So that's including your FBM if you've got costs. That's including your prep if you're a prep center. That's looking at your ROI that you want and your BSR. So that's why we've put those settings in, so that it knows when it's looking at things what it's trying to tell you.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It can tell you a lot, but without you guiding it, it's not going to make any sense.
Yeah.
So that's why we say the settings are so important. So like in the extension, on the little cog down here are the settings as well. You can set up your settings in the extension here if you prefer. Totally up to you. So that is that bit, and then we'll get a better view on this. Apologize, don't have the proper hookup to actually show this to you on the screen. But when you load the app from either the Android version or the iOS version, doesn't really come off, does it? It looks exactly like the first page of the web of the web version of the product. So you can do a search here. You can go to your options. That's what I was trying to do. You can set up your settings in the options of the mobile app as well. And I think the one thing that I should mention to everybody, don't forget to hit save when you put your settings in. I've had people come back and say, I put them in, where'd they go? Oh, there's a save button on the bottom. So, yeah. Just like with any settings on any website that you go to, don't forget to hit the save button. So that's really it from a setup perspective. You know, there's always news and updates as the top panel here.
Sorry, does it move? If I because obviously that's covering part of the screen. Can I move it if I didn't want it in that bit there?
Oh, sure, absolutely. Down on the bottom here, you've got options where you can either dock it or you can actually move it around, float it in the.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, awesome. Then I can put it. I don't like the fact that it sort of sometimes covers bits that you might want to see. Sometimes if you're looking for a number of like the different sellers and things, you're covering bits if it's in that section. So
yeah, exactly. We can, you know what, you just led me to another conversation that we can have. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think just strictly from a setup and sign up perspective, that is what I would recommend. You know, don't try to conquer it all in one day, but make sure you get your settings done properly. Take advantage of the free trial. There's no better way to find out if you're going to be comfortable using it. Start asking the right questions. There's loads of amazing, friendly people in Emily's group that will help guide you to the answers that you need, whether it be about a specific product or whether it be just about the process of OA, RA, wholesale in general. So.
And we were all new once. Honestly, no question is silly or small. We all kind of, the only way we know how to use software is because we played about and made a few mistakes. So honestly, fire away. And if you want to, you can send a private message. If you don't want to put it out there, if it's a bit of a question, not sure about the answer to. So yeah, we're all around to help. But
learn from everything we've done, right?
Yeah, it's a brilliant piece of kit. It's incredibly cost effective, brilliant value for money. And Al just keeps adding stuff to it. Every week we get an email or a message in his group saying he's added this feature and that feature. So it's well worth at least having the free trial and testing it for yourself. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. We'll see you again soon, no doubt.
Thanks, Emily. See ya. Bye, everybody.